And that is great advice, especially heading into the week up ahead as we have potentially dangerously hot conditions, including with that high humidity. We could have heat indices at or over 100 degrees. So if you're going to be out for a long time, it's going to be very important to follow that advice. But also, the forecast for all these hot temperatures is complicated by chances for some thunderstorms, periodic thunderstorms, in fact, heading into the week ahead on the edge of this pattern. But for tonight, we're cool and we're calm as we get down to 62 degrees and mostly clear. Do note there is a little bit of an opportunity for patchy fog, especially in low-lying areas, the river valleys, the places that you would expect some fog in the morning. So be aware of that, especially if you're heading out early, though the rest of us will have a sunny start to our day as we enter the ring of fire pattern that has been dominant across much of the United States this summer, but we're going to be right along the edge of it. So we'll experience the heat and the humidity, but also potentially chances for some thunderstorms, as this is a very favorable area for these thunderstorms to kind of ride the ridge into our area, which is where we'll be sitting. So that is going to be something to keep in mind, especially since we have all this humidity. You know, just the heat is one thing, but the added humidity is another. We'll be slightly humid into tomorrow, but for the rest of the week ahead, we have dew points near the 70-degree mark, which is, you know, muggy to humid, so very uncomfortable conditions, potentially considering all the heat that we will have. So, you know, we have temperatures in the low to middle 90s for much of the week up ahead, but add in that humidity, you have heat indices of the upper 90s, even approaching or eclipsing the 100-degree mark. So that's why it's going to be so important, especially if you're heading out to the county fairs this week, making sure that you are, you know, protecting yourself, wearing that loose-fitting clothing and drinking plenty of water, like we've said before, because, you know, heat like this can get dangerous pretty quickly. So then the other thing on the flip side with this pattern is that it could bring some rounds of thunderstorms, as we said before. But the one thing to note is there is a lot of uncertainty with this pattern. Sometimes we can't even iron out much in terms of details, you know, 24 hours in advance. So make sure to be staying tuned to the forecast throughout the week, as we will be tracking some potential thunderstorms even as soon as 24 hours from now. Parts of our area on a level 1 out of 5 risk for severe weather, mainly closest to the Mississippi River. Now, and that's because, you know, that's where this storm track is at this point. It hasn't quite reached our area yet, so best chances are over Iowa and our far western counties. But just something to keep in mind, potentially some strong winds and large hail with thunderstorms that could develop tomorrow evening. But then we crank up the heat even more. Middle 90s potentially into the middle of the week. We'll see those periodic shower and thunderstorm chances as we increase the humidity. And in your most accurate 10-day forecast, you'll see maybe getting back to more average levels towards next weekend. But Sam, we just got to get through this week. Be prepared for the heat and potentially some storms.